Hi. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Poorly Reviewed. I am Sean.
And I'm Asia.
You
We just saw Godzilla vs Kong in theaters again. We went to a theater again.
We did, and it was a little bit more uncomfortable this time.
Mm-hmm.
There was a family.
Because this is a blockbuster release, so
Yeah.
it was a little bit more people present everywhere,
There-
all around the theater.
So they have it mapped out, so people who can't sit next to you, like they have the 6-foot rule in place. But this family's like, no.
We do what we want.
Us 20 folks need to sit in the same row.
To be honest, I think they just saw like the Croods and then said, let's go see another one while it's starting. And they walked in and didn't, they just said, let's sit right here in the middle.
Maybe they came from the Croods.
I mean, if you look, all right, when I was a kid, some of my cousins and uncles and aunties would try their best to get the full day, especially if something really...
You did mention this as we were walking out. You paid for admission already.
Yeah, exactly. So we already back here. I mean, there used to be ushers in the middle, and sometimes the ushers didn't, or people who worked there just didn't care because it's like whatever, because it's just like some teenager or 20 something who's just like, I'm just, my shift about to end in an hour, so like what's the point? But if you had a kid and you wanted to go see, I don't know, Beloved, and that's like 2-3 hours long movie, and the kids movie is an hour and a half, maybe some change. I don't know, like just you go to see that movie and then find another kids movie to put the kids in and still go see Beloved at the same time. Just make sure that they're cool.
Yeah.
It just
I never
happens.
done that. I never done it.
No, it's not something that was happen a lot. But if it was something that like all the adults want to see one thing and all the kids want to see one thing, and it's like, if we're gonna be there for a while, and then older kids are like, I don't want to see that baby stuff. Let's go see, some action film that the kids can't see.
Let's go see the new Bruce Willis flick.
Yeah, let's go see Die Hard 2000, whatever. And
21.
so, like, and then the little kids will be like, cousin so-and-so is in this movie, let's go see. And it's kids, so no one's going to say anything. Who's going to run after some kids? No one cares. Just as long as they're not making noise, go away.
As long as I'm not taking someone else's seat.
Yeah, but this family, they did not adhere to the social distance. You're not supposed to be
right behind me.
Directly behind your head.
I felt her breath on my neck.
Yeah. Godzilla, you better win. Like that. Everyone had a good time in the theater. I wanted to ask your opinion on this because I didn't say anything when we left.
Okay.
But pretty much 90% of the theater clapped. Like,
did clap.
Did they? It was fun. We're gonna spoilers. We thought it was fun, but
that's not a spoiler.
I'm just saying, like, overall,
but we will get into spoilers.
We're dancing around the real issue. Did we like it? Yes. But the thing is, the 90% of the theater clapped, and I was just like, okay, I liked it, but not that much.
Not clapping. I don't think I've ever clapped at a movie.
We clapped at Dark Knight, right? The second one, the second Batman. People clapped.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, The Dark Knight. Yeah.
Well,
it
doesn't make any sense. Who are you clapping to?
That was awesome.
Okay, but who are you clapping to?
I don't know.
Chris isn't sitting in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Adulate me. Praise me. I know, but so it doesn't make sense. It's just like when someone said like a meme about how white people, like, white people on the plane. He looks like one of those white people who clap on the plane. It's like... It's kind of like, I don't know. Is it just the response of like thinking it's like a feeling like a performance, like a theater, or that they felt like the performance or the visual the movie was so realistic that they were like, yeah, that was a good experience. Like a roller coaster ride. See, Dark Knight felt like a roller coaster ride because when you first went to see it, you're like, where is this going? Oh my God, twist, turn, whatever.
In Godzilla vs Kong's defense, or what Kong versus Godzilla, whatever way it goes, I don't remember.
Godzilla's top bill.
I did mention to you during we were watching. I don't know if you heard me. It's like
this is gonna be
a theme park.
Yeah, this is gonna be a Universal ride right there.
That's what I said.
It could could be, but Universal ain't got money like that, or wherever they would put it. Six Flags, because it's Warner Brothers.
It'd probably be Six Flags, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't. No, Universal has Kong, because that's where I went to the Kong tours, where he shakes the bus a little bit. You never went on that. This is very.
They must have bought it from Universal then.
I guess so, but anyway, yeah, your boy's the hero sort of, and the Kong is kind of the hero, and like people. I'm sorry, I was trying to transition into talking about.
I know,
the movie,
but I had something I wanted to say
about the ride.
Not about the ride.
Because of the Tron cars that they had.
They had Tron cars. I wasn't gonna talk about that really.
The way that whole sequence is shot is straight up like we're on this thing with them, kind of some points.
Yeah,
or right behind them.
It's like it was already pre-built. Like it was gonna be the next. What's that movie? No, that's the Terminator one. What's the one you go into the cockpit? No, Back to the Future.
Yeah, or Star Wars.
Whatever.
Yeah. The Back to the Future ride is just Star Tours, and you're in a little cart, and it's just a movie, and you're shaking around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
soaring across America, California, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be, but we're probably not gonna do that.
There was something else I was gonna say before we got into the movie itself, but I lost it. It's gone.
Something about Cheerios.
Cheerios.
It's gone.
It's gone. You want to just, briefly go over it without spoilers before we go into spoilers for people who want no spoilers?
Sure. I like the movie. I feel like there was some things that they didn't focus on the humans too much, which is great. But there's some things that the humans were involved with that was a little bit too convoluted for my taste.
You didn't need them.
I didn't need it. But it starts that, Kong is, basically they're trying to keep Kong away from Godzilla because Godzilla is gone kind of rabid, and he's attacking places unprovoked, and people don't know what's going on, and then I guess it's like two alpha males, there can only be one. Is basically the plot of freaking the Highlander. He's like, Godzilla straight up saying there can only be one.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they set that up in the last one, Gods and Monsters, or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's just whooping.
He whooped everyone's ass. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, I liked it too. I thought it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Like people were complaining about certain aspects of it being too silly or too out there.
It's two kaijus fighting.
Yeah, it's silly. Kaijus fighting.
Yeah, like that's what I like about Pacific Rim. The first one was like, yeah, it was weird. It's strange and fantastical. We got mechs, we got kaiju, and somehow the world is all behind this, but. Mm-hmm. It's so much fun that you just get swept into it, and that's what they were trying to do. Like, especially with later on, there's some technology that we're nowhere near, but who cares? Because it makes sense with all this in this world where there's monsters and everything. Just have fun. It's a silly concept overall on paper. This big monkey and this big lizard gonna fight. Mm-hmm. So if we never had Godzilla and Kong, someone would be like, "Are you nuts? Get out of here! Get out of my office until you come back with some superhero shit."
Stupid ass.
So I did like it. I kind of grew up with the kaiju, like Godzilla stuff, like from like Mystery Science Theater and stuff, like Gamera and things like that. Just seeing it like through people poking fun at it, but I thought it was like a fun idea. And I was just like, I never saw the recent Godzilla ones. You did.
You didn't watch any of those?
No, I wasn't into it because I thought I was bitten by that in the 2001, the 1990, 2000s.
Oh, you got scorned?
Yeah, and I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because it was just, I know that our technology has advanced since then, but I feel like if Americans are going to handle Godzilla like that, and like make it all kind of like this Michael Bay jokey and like focusing on the humans and things like that. And from what I saw from clips of Godzilla and people making fun of the Godzilla with the Maximoff twins in it, like how it's focusing on their turmoil, and then Bryan Cranston's in it and Charles Dance and all of that. Well, that's later. That's in God of Monsters. But I'm just saying like all these big name performance heavy serious actors are in this, like all these names to draw you to it. I was like, okay, they got to give them something to work with. So, and if they need to give them something to work with, that means more scenes with them, therefore less Godzilla, therefore you can keep that shit.
Well, the first one, they kind of played up like a disaster movie, essentially.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So that's why they focus so much on the human characters. So I don't care too much about it in that respect. But Aaron Taylor Johnson was an absolute brick in that movie.
Oh man, he had nothing to work with probably.
Probably. He just got off the set of Ultron.
They killed me, and he's sad about it.
He's like, I just got off.
I wanted to be part of the Disney Renaissance of this superhero shit, and they said no.
Yeah. He was hugging his sister over there and kissing his wife over there.
Or because he hasn't been a slouch. He's done some, pretty much consistent work after these movies. So he probably was like not too bitter about it because he was like, I want to work on this Christopher Nolan thing that he's talking about, thinking about me and
he
later
was good
on.
in that movie too. Yeah. I didn't even recognize him when we first watched it.
Right. But, he's a good actor. He's probably was like, I ain't got much to work with in this one.
No, he was just acting against green screen the entire time.
Probably, yeah.
But, like, I didn't have a problem with the human focus on that movie. Nor Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island, I thought was fun. Like, when we went to see that, I was like, the aesthetic choice for this, kind of camping it up, all the actors were good choices. John C. Reilly, listen, he's always a win, and he was a perfect choice for that movie too.
Don't see Holmes and Watson.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like he's other than that, he's always a win. But I thought the whole era, the time, like that datedness, and then like the lore that they made for Kong, cool, good. I like him. It's like cool. I like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Kong was great. Then we got Gods and Monsters, and that movie was that was a cluster. That was a straight
it looks
cluster.
like a hot mess.
It was a hot mess.
I like
you got family drama, you got monsters, you got boom boom pow. It was all over the place.
And then I saw I missed the movie, and then I saw the memes about how Mothra is his girlfriend and stuff like that. I was like, well, I basically got spoiled. Like that. I mean, all the rest basically fuck all them except for Mothra. That's
that movie
it.
was entirely put there to set up this movie.
Yeah.
That's all that movie was.
It was all just, this is the prequel to what we really want.
Exactly.
The two kaijus meeting. But at least Kong was like, I'm going to give you a full-fledged story with some fun characters and, understanding where the lore is with this and how tough he is. Like, because those skull crawlers, which do appear in this movie, which I was like, this is canon. Okay, cool. And yeah, like you see him, he can whoop different creatures around here, but then it was like almost that big Godzilla size mama of the skull crushers or whatever they're called, skull walkers. And then he whooped that one, and he's still a teenager or a baby or baby one. So it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen when he get big and want to fight a lizard? And I think all the fight sequences were really good. It was really fun. It felt like I was watching like an AEW match.
And the newest one. You want to get into spoilers then?
Let's talk about non-spoiler stuff, I guess, for one more minute.
Okay.
Like, I did summarize it as quickly as I could. Godzilla is alpha and Kong is alpha, and they trying to keep them apart from fighting because they don't want no They don't want no issues. Humans in the middle don't want no issues. We don't want no problems, big fellas.
Well, there's one guy.
And that's it. And then there's some sort of company that's up to no good.
I will say this, that the marketing team did leave a lot out.
Yeah, because when you mentioned who could be appearing in it, I was like, oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, like only the people who like went frame by frame in the trailer would have known some of the stuff that they talk about. They held water this time. Which is, I feel like it's really rare lately. Like having that happen.
Yeah, because like right after we came back, you were just watching something like a trailer or like a commercial spot for nobody, and it already spoiled one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, they did.
Just to talk about how good it is, and it's like, why don't you just keep that to yourself?
Yeah, hold it.
Keep showing his bus fight instead.
Exactly.
But no,
the 10-minute bus fight.
Yeah, but anyway, we can get into spoilers for Godzilla vs Kong. So the big bad that is revealed in the movie is Mechagodzilla, and you called it. Because you told me, you were like, after a few weeks when you were like, Godzilla vs Kong is coming up.
Straight to the end of the movie.
No, I'm just saying, like, well, people want to know. Well, that's the big deal. Like, who cares? They fight, yes, we know. But the thing is,
ooh, wow.
Okay, so there was technically like 3 fights, right?
There was 3, yes. There was total fights.
3 fights. First fight.
Well, 4 if you include the last fight against Mecha.
Nah, we talking about the title characters,
okay.
like the Batman versus Superman. Who won that fight? Batman, right? Because he's smarter. I never watched the movie.
Technically, Batman won that fight.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Pinned.
Yeah, and he had kryptonite.
And he said, Martha.
Yeah.
Why did you say that name?
Mothra. Why did you say that name? No, anyway. 3 fights. First fight was on the sea, where the Navy gave all of their best fleets out there to get smushed.
Yeah.
Kong, he got whooped. He fought valiantly. He got jukes too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got jukes. And Godzilla was out there like a shark, just like biding his time. He was like, I know where you are, sucker.
That whole sequence was fun. I had a lot of anxiety watching that one.
Yeah, because there's a point 2 characters go into a sealed, like almost like submarine level ceiling door.
I didn't care about that.
No, I'm just talking about, like, imagine you got trapped in there, and then the ship got capsized. Basically, he flipped it over. And then you're stuck in there. You thought you protected yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's smart. At first I saw them do it, and I was like, oh, that's smart. Oh, no, that's dumb.
You did.
That's very dumb. You are dead. But anyway, yeah, so Godzilla whooped him. He had to play possum and wait for him to go away.
But it isn't, like, let's just talk about the logic behind how they got to where they're at.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the point is,
Skarsgård boy went to Rebecca Hall, who controls the ape.
Yeah. This is the convoluted part that I didn't like.
So he's like, I need Kong to get to the Hollow Earth, and he's gonna lead me there like a pigeon.
However, I will admit that's cool that they've connected everything, because apparently, I don't know, because I didn't watch any of the rest of the Godzilla movies, recent Godzilla movies. But apparently they talk about Hollow Earth in every single one of them.
Well, just Kong Skull Island and Gods and Monsters.
Whatever. That it's been talked about twice before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they're saying that in the center of the Earth, the theory is that there's like a super crazy place in the Hollow Earth, in the middle of the Earth, that's surrounded by black holes or something, or some sort of different gravity pull, whatever, that Kong belongs to, that he can go back and show them the way home, and they need him.
Yeah.
To show them home.
But the whole reason why they go is so they can get this energy source to help fix the world. That's the front. That's the gimmick. Mm-hmm. Not the shoot. Mm-hmm. And he goes to the person who's like over not Godzilla, Kong, and he's like, I need Kong, and she's like, okay, fine, just get your hands off my face, social distancing. Mm-hmm. And then that's it. There's
little resistance. Very little resistance.
These 2 people made this giant decision to move this titan.
And also the reason why it starts with him on house arrest anyway. Yeah. He on house arrest for his protection from Godzilla, because Godzilla is out there ready to throw hands, and it's like, okay, we need to protect Kong, because Kong don't know about any of this, and he just want to live in peace. He don't even know why he's on house arrest. Well, he probably kind of has an idea, because it's later revealed that he's a lot smarter than you think he is. But he knew what was up. He on house arrest, yeah, and they can't tell him he on house arrest or what's about to be outside of house arrest, right? And Rebecca Hall is just like, okay, we have he's on house arrest for a reason. You just gonna take him out of house arrest so he can get found?
I mean, that's the least part of the problem.
And then they get on the boat and they're like, we gotta keep moving because we don't want Godzilla to know that he's out here. You not supposed to. She gave him like these coordinates that are safe zones away from Godzilla. But obviously that's not gonna work because Godzilla is, like I said, he ready to throw hands. He's looking for each and every kaiju out here who said something about Mothra. So he rolled up in 24 hours.
Yeah.
In 24 hours. But then the Navy was just like, yeah, we'll just put a big ass monkey on our ship. That's fine. We don't know. Listen,
there was no decisions made.
He's a very big, dense boy. How we know that this is the ship was going to float with him on it? Mm-hmm. How did they know that the chains were going to work for him anyway?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry,
that's the least of my problems.
I know. I let it slide, but
how
every
they got
time,
to that point
every time I thought about like how did they get up, they didn't even show how they sedated him and put him on the ship. I'm like, we just doing this now? This is the plan? He was on house arrest.
My assumption is that it's like weeks later after that conversation. They just didn't show any
it was
of
the next fucking day because Elon Musk, Elon Musk said, we need the power right now. I need to make Mechagodzilla tonight. Tonight. I ain't got time is money, and money is time.
So you think that Latino Elon Musk was the one who financed the whole operation?
Yes.
To get everything going?
Yes.
And they just did it next day shit?
Yes.
They put him on the cargo ship next day delivery?
They got a Skarsgård out to Kong Island so quick. Sorry. I'm telling you, they got Skarsgård out there that quick to talk. We ain't got time to negotiate. She said, yes, we go on the Hollow Earth now because Godzilla's out here ready to throw hands. Excuse me. To be honest to you right now, I think this whole Godzilla versus Kong was over the course of like 4 days. If that. 4 or 5 days.
They got him on a helicopter. Then they flew to Antarctica the rest of the way on helicopters.
They Tron cycled to Hong Kong in 30 minutes.
That was like a bullet train.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, Elon Musk, Puerto Rican Elon Musk was like, I make technology that will change the world. And as soon as he showed up, I was like, he the one. He's making them.
Obviously, he was the bad guy from the moment Brian C. Henry opened his mouth.
Right. Yeah. He's like, his character wasn't that bad. I think it's because he was his performance was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was good. He was good fun. Mm-hmm. Like if he was by himself during that whole thing, or they found a different way to incorporate him, it would have been fine. Mm-hmm. But they had to bring Millie back, and it just was a waste of time.
But she had to be the rebel teen that also is listening to conspiracy stuff because that's what teens are doing today.
She added nothing to the movie. Zero.
She was part of the Scooby-Doo gang.
Zero.
They had a Scooby-Doo gang and it was cute.
So she goes to try to find this guy because she wants to be part of the crew.
Right.
They find him pretty easily, by the way.
Yeah.
And they go to a diner and they talk
Even
about what they got to do.
Even though he's supposed to be like super off the grid, he uses he uses a burner phone. Yeah. He bathes with bleach.
You have to look at this movie as don't worry about how people go to where they do or figure out things they do. Mm-hmm. It's all in the coincidences and happenstance to get to the part where you got two kaijus fighting. We build to that. It doesn't matter how we get there, and if the logic makes sense. Yes, we want the kaijus to beat each other up. So this happened, that happened, and that happened. Bam, we all here. What's up? And in short, it's beautiful. Yeah. No, there's some parts where the part where they did the bullet train. No, you know what made me put my hand up? You told me to put my hand down. I was shooketh that they just beep boop bop. We in the secret base. I was with you. I looked over at you. I was like,
I thought it was funny that the character hit the thing and it worked. Okay, that makes sense because some doors have a failsafe. Just become manual now. Okay, fine. But the elevator didn't, because okay, we have the technology right now. Where my mom used to work, she worked in a law firm. You get a key card to get past to get to the elevator, and you needed another key card or someone to buzz you in to even go to the level that you need to go to. You can't just hit a button and it'll let you go. It would be like, no, there's fail safes. You put a key card in and you let you go to a level. No, they just said beep. Secret level beep.
Yeah. What's the problem?
Like that. I'm sorry. There had to be more. Like I feel like if Millie was supposed to be there and be some sort of useful thing or a tap water boy, at least have one of them actually be a hacker or some sort of smart whiz kid. Make her have like some sort of key card. Like her dad, who works for Monarch, was kind of thinking about working with Apex to help Monarch somehow, and it gave him access through a key card to see some of their secret shit. And he didn't really see the warning bells then, but he's just like, I'm more concerned about what Godzilla's doing right now, so we'll put a pin in this Mecha Godzilla thing. I'll almost catch you later. And she gets the key card somehow and links up with him because she's like, okay, we're on the same level. We don't like this, whatever. At least she had like, it would be like, that's why she's there. You know what I mean? She'll have clearance to this shit. Or for some reason, or stole clearance from her dad because her dad is being dumb.
She didn't need to go find Brian T. Henry.
Mm-hmm.
The whole sequence of that didn't make any sense.
It did make sense because
she was gonna go to Apex Labs anyways.
Hang on. It did make sense because she thought that he was like some sort of whiz or something at getting in because he's been getting into these places, right? To report. And then also he's the only person that is of a similar, like, feels the same way she does. She has no one else she can convince besides Tap Waterboy, who's only there as like a passive. He's not going to help her break in. He'll be too scared. At least Brian T. Henry has the balls to actually break in so she could actually like use the example to break in.
All right, sure.
We've established no one listens to her or something. Like no one's listening to her. Her dad ain't listening. She's like, no, Godzilla's crazy. He's like, sit down, little girl. She's like, I got your little girl right here. I'm breaking in. And she did.
Her character is useless. She wasn't needed in the movie.
Yeah. I agree. But I'm just saying, like, if they added what I said, like, for some reason, Apex is trying to weasel into Monarch to get more, I don't know, resources or more, like, what's his name? Ghidorah's third skull? Or whatever that they had, because they have Ghidorah's skull to control the brain that's inside of Mecha Godzilla to make it. But so there's 3 of them though. So they have one of the brothers' brains in that one, and the other one is.
No, they only have the one. What
if they were like, we need some raw materials you have from Ghidorah to do what we need to do. Here's access to here so you can see what's going on and we can work together to fight Godzilla. And Monarch is like, I don't know, but we'll check it out. And Millie's just like, gotcha, bitch, and gets in. You know, I don't know. I was just trying to make it that the reason she actually has a purpose. I don't care
about the reason. They didn't do anything with her.
It.
They didn't do anything.
Just remember she's in this thing and she's cute and she's in Stranger Things.
She shows up at the end. She goes, "You're the bad guy," and he's like,
You're
yes,
the big thief. It was you.
And then they end up stopping Mechagodzilla for half a second by pouring whiskey into the computer.
Yeah. It turned off his supers. It turned off his missile codes.
And that's what saved the day.
That's what saved the day. He's just like now just a hunk of metal.
Their whole arc was pointless.
Then they were there to go, yeah. Fuck yeah,
and then,
beat him up.
And then find each other in the crowd with the dad.
How did he hear her so perfectly?
In destroyed Hong Kong, nonetheless.
It leveled,
like
it
she
flattened.
knew where to. Like she's been to Hong Kong before. Apparently, she knows these streets like the back of her hand. Even though most of them are in rubble.
Yeah, all of Hong Kong has been flattened to a car park, and there's crowds of people who have been displaced. They were just working, going to restaurants. A lot of people were at restaurants in the night.
Oh my God, that's what I wanted to mention. Okay, so picture this. I'm going to paint you a picture.
Picture it, Hong Kong 2021.
Hong Kong 2021. You see a gigantic lizard come out of the ocean
and walk.
And walks onto land, destroying buildings, and then decides to start drilling a hole with its fire breath into the earth. So it can
his gamma radiation throat.
Yeah, so he can get to the middle of Hollow Earth and yell at King Kong.
Tell him he said, "Get up here, bitch!
Get up here, bitch!" And
we ain't done yet.
You're watching all this, and then all of a sudden you see Kong come out of this hole.
He said, "You talking shit up here?
Talking shit with me?
I just found my family and ancestral home. By the way, that was rude. That ceiling was completely finished."
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, you see them two going at it.
And
you're
he said, "You want to go?" He said, "Bitch, I called you to come off here. Come on."
You're still sitting at your dinner table, drinking your wine.
Damn, that's
watching
crazy.
These
Takes a bite of sirloin.
Gigantic creatures battle out.
Two ancient gods.
Would you not be gone? Would you not try to be in a different country?
Would you not be
Why would you still be sitting there? Why would you not move by the moment you saw Godzilla come up on the land? You know he was there to fuck shit up.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay, 2 try martinis.
They didn't give a shit.
They're like,
they're like desensitized to it. They're not gonna come over here. They're gonna go fight over on the shoreline.
They were like, "Yo, Godzilla's mad."
And then you see Kong throw Godzilla.
I would like to try the cheesecake.
And you see Kong throw Godzilla through your apartment complex. No,
I just finished waxing the floor. And I would like to try the champagne.
That's how people were acting.
They were straight up like people have sat down. They were sitting down there for hours at this rooftop bar, and they see Godzilla get smacked and his tail slaps the end of the bar, and they're just like, "Oh, we should leave." Like, no shit.
Yeah. Like, what gave it away?
Oh no, you sure about
Stupid
that?
ass.
You don't want to get another nightcap, cup of coffee? A piece of a muffin and a cup of coffee.
I could not believe that when I was watching that movie. It's like, why would you still be there? And then you wanted to get
There's alarms now. They have it looks like almost every other major city has a Titan security like bunker for people to evacuate to. Like, wasn't the alarms going off and shit too? That wasn't the dead giveaway. All right, man. Sit there.
You asked me on the way home, it's like if Godzilla rolled up in Chicago.
No!
I didn't even want you to get the question out because I told that girl I'd be out of there.
Like, you can sit there if you want to.
We gone.
I was saying, like, what if he rolled up to Navy Pier and was like smacking the shit out of the Navy Pier Ferris wheel, and we lived like way, way far away. Like, we could see it, but we were far away. He was like, "No!" Like, you were like an old lady. You're like, "No! No!
I ain't playing with no Godzilla.
I ain't playing with these hoes." But yeah, it was fun though. Like, the fight where they fought in Hong Kong, it was straight up like, I thought I was watching like some sort of crazy street match, or like before, like just like, I don't know, like one of those pay-per-view like death like fights, like cause he was like, "I'm gonna bite your feet off, I'm gonna stomp on your chest." He's like, oh, and the fucking Kong Superman punched Godzilla in the jaw. It was great.
Yeah,
it was great. He dismounted off a small building. He said, "Bomb!" boom, right, cracked him across the
And then right after he punched him in the face, Godzilla stumbles back into a building, catches himself, and then looks at Godzilla or Kong, and he smiles.
He's like, all right.
Godzilla smiles at Kong. It's like, here we go.
He's like, oh, that's what you get? Watch me do my finisher. Fucking one-winged angel on your ass. And the kicker was when he laughed. Wasn't there something where he was like, Kong was like, hey, what the fuck? He was like, you like that?
Pretty much.
So I'm just thinking about the whole fight. It was just, I wouldn't be surprised if they had like real motion capture, like of a good, like they got some pro wrestlers to do it, and they
top rope.
I'm just saying it didn't feel too much like how those movies look. Like sometimes when it's just too much, because Godzilla vs. Monsters, it looked like it was just all pixels. It doesn't have the weight that I thought it was gonna have for all those kaiju to be there. But this one, it felt like a good balance of the like realistic, but not too CGI. But I think the choreography and the camera angles helped that.
The choreography and the camera angles was way better in this one.
Yeah.
The second one was just like they put the camera somewhere and they said,
yeah, you watch.
Do that.
Yeah. There was a sequence where Godzilla versus Mecha where you kind of saw it from inside an office building. That was pretty cool. Like just seeing it like from that panoramic.
Yeah, that was
outsider.
That was Millie's perspective.
No, I'm talking about it was a building that was untouched and it was just like empty, and you just saw the panoramic windows across and then through it, and then he kind of drags Godzilla's head through it. Like it was like all like quiet and like it's
I don't know,
it's
put it up on
somewhere.
the screen. We'll do it.
When we watch it, we'll watch it again on HBO Max. I'm gonna point it out.
I just wanted to mention one more thing before we move on to something else.
No.
Firstly, actually two more things.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go back to what I was talking about, the transportation of Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they got Kong
on
authorized to get onto the ship somehow, and then they took him to how far they could get, and then they decided that they were going to airlift Kong to Antarctica from wherever they were in the Pacific.
In a net.
In a net. They got helicopters.
Mm-hmm. They're loud. And they sedated him.
And put Godzilla in a net, and then airlifted him all the way to freezing cold Antarctica.
First of all, them hooks would have broke. Them helicopters.
The helicopters would not have enough gas to get that far. Especially dragging that fucking big ass monkey.
But the daughter of Evil Man said, "Our helicopters are the best helicopters," and blah 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 or whatever. Okay. She said it off. She seriously did say an offhand comment like, it'll get you from here or whatever, and they're the best fucking helicopters you ever seen in your life. Because she came in on one.
Yeah.
From wherever she was.
So they get there, and this whole time we learned that Kong learned to sign with Rebecca Hall's adopted daughter.
Yeah, who's deaf.
Who's deaf, yes.
Yeah, she only speaks in her particular language, sign language. Mm-hmm. And he knew to sign.
He knows ASL.
Yeah, and it was like, holy shit!
Yeah, that was a big review.
That makes sense. Yeah, because it's not too far off of the imagination because there's so many studies of primates knowing ASL. Mm-hmm. So anyway,
so she convinces him to go down this hole to get to the Hollow Earth portal
because she said your family might be down there.
And they get to the Hollow Earth,
and straight up, it was the House of Kong down there.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah, but he ain't got no family.
But
his family dead.
Stay with me on this.
His family's dead.
The whole reason why these people got on these Tron cycles, followed Kong down the hole to the center of the Earth, was to get energy.
The unobtainium.
The unobtainium. Not the energy, not the actual source, but a
sample.
A sample of it, but not just that, but they wanted to get the sample so they can replicate it. Mm-hmm. And the replication was immediate. Like,
yeah, it was a download.
They didn't need the actual thing there.
It's like he downloaded like MP3.
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
Would
that
you
didn't
not
make
need
sense
to directly apply this particular
Godzilla
raw
was there.
material to
The unobtainium, yeah.
the unobtainium to the Mechagodzilla to make it work? No, they just downloaded it like an MP3.
It didn't make no sense. But also, there was one scene I liked in that sequence where he's only nice. He's like particularly nice to the Rebecca Hall and the daughter. So when evil daughter was leaving in the Tron cycle and they shot his ass like a dummy, he wouldn't have been the wiser. You would have been able to go on about your way. But she shot him. He grabs the ship and he looks in there. He's like, "Is the baby in there?" Nope, squish. Dummy.
Yeah.
She has a moment of like, there's two moments of, oh shit. She does have a moment of, oh shit, like, dummy.
Yeah, and then her dad does the same
too.
shit.
Because honestly, that was pretty funny how Mechagodzilla like slowly turns his head. He's like,
yeah, he creeped up. He tiptoed.
He
tiptoed up to the window.
Tiptoed in my Jordans.
And then fucking sucker punched his ass.
He said, "Shut your ass up."
What did you think of Hollow Earth? Was it cool?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It basically just looked like the Earth if dinosaurs were still roaming the Earth, and then with the addition of floating rocks on Obtanium.
I don't understand why we needed to follow Kong all the way back to where he.
That's where the unobtainium was purest, in the mountain, in the volcano.
But how would the humans know that that's where he needed to go?
Because he's a homing pigeon, and he would take them to the source.
Right. But it would take him to his place. But how would they know that his place was where it was the most
Because
potent?
the plot said so.
Got it.
Because
they just followed him on a grand tour of Hollow Earth.
Right.
At any point, they could have just dropped down to the ground and said, "Ooh, look at this."
He killed some crazy pterodactyl things. Smacked the pterodactyl with beat a motherfucker with a motherfucker, as the meme would say. And then they're like, "All right, are you done?" And he's like, "Yeah. Let me take you to my crib. I think my crib is up there." It's pretty good though. I know there's some problems with it, definitely.
This is not a perfect movie.
If you stop and think about it, like if you have after you see it and you enjoy it and you leave the theater and you're like, wait, what? That's what we're talking about. We're like, wait, what? But the fight scenes were worth it.
Yeah.
The fight scenes were worth it. Some of the acting is good. Like whatever we get with the actors, the little girl is good. I thought the little girl was decent.
Great.
For a child actor.
That group, that whole story made sense to me. Mm-hmm. That was fine. Have the humans in that particular story was fine. Millie and Brian and Tapwater didn't make any sense to me.
The weakest plot points was anything with Godzilla, pretty much. Like Godzilla, I kind of get like his whole thing is like he's honing in on whatever kaiju is out there with an alpha signal that he don't like, and he's like, basically he's like, anybody talking shit, they get hit. Mm-hmm. I get it, but anything else. That was cut it. You don't need it.
Cut the weight.
They don't need it. It was fun.
Anything else you wanted to say?
It was a fun movie. I'm glad we saw it.
I'll probably see it again. I think it's a good watch. Despite the logic flaws.
I definitely think since a little bit of the situation that we had was like some of the audio was kind of messed up too.
That bugged you more than it bugged me.
It bugged me because it was like. Remember the trailer for The Mummy? Mm-hmm. It was just grunts and yelling for me.
Essentially, the music was
gone
on like 8, and then the dialogue and the action was on 11.
No, so the dialogue and action were at 10. The music was at a 4.
Okay.
Dialogue and sound effects, especially the sound effects. I don't know what their problem is with sound effects, but the sound design person was like, "Oh, these sound effects need to sound really good." No, I think that was just the theater. Okay, well, anyway, sound effects was at 20, dialogue was at 10, music was at 4.
Oh, I wanted to mention one more thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a big spoiler. So Godzilla beats the shit out of Kong, essentially.
Yeah, he stomps his foot in his ass.
He loses, and then he basically gives in. And
he's like, "Fuck you,
He's
man."
on death's door, and they decide to use the Tron cycle to jumpstart his
it's like a pacemaker.
Jump his heart like a
defibrillator.
Like a defibrillator.
Yeah.
So they plan this Skarsgård goes up there, he does it,
Yeah.
and then he runs out of the thing because it's gonna.
How did he climb down from his chest?
How did he climb down off that gigantic monkey so fast?
I don't know. He might have slid down his stomach.
He would have busted an ankle.
Yes, true. But he's also like 7 feet tall. He's a Swede. It's fine.
It was crazy.
There was still like, remember when Rebecca Hall and the little girl tried to help him up, and he was like 3 times their size each, standing up. I'm like, why are you leaning on them? It's like you're folding in half. Poor
he was
man.
standing up completely straight, and his arm was fully extended on the little girl's on her shoulder.
He was like, just good girl.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, that was a funny scene. There was some scenes where it's just like, come on, man.
Oh, and finally, the dialogue. There is some pieces of dialogue in here that are just absolutely unneeded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there'll be Kong and Godzilla will be doing something, and they'll be like, they're doing something.
No shit.
And then they'll be going somewhere. It's like, we gotta follow him.
Yeah. But okay, it was cute that the girl would tell people how he felt, but when he woke up and he was angry, she was like, he's sad and angry. It's like, yeah. He has expressions on he has a face that expresses. So does Godzilla. She was like, he's angry. No shit, I can see. He's fighting on the chains. He's mad. He casually threw a sycamore tree into the fake dome. His Truman Show house.
Yeah. Truman Show house.
And he did it. His house arrest Truman Show dome. He said, fuck this shit, I'm out, and yeeted it. But it was good.
So
I
funny.
liked it. I think my favorite character so far has been Kong. Still, I know he's supposed to be the bad guy here, but he's just out here trying to live his best life.
He was the main character of the movie.
Mm-hmm. We start with him. I was about to whisper to you, like, it starts with the most cliche way to open your movie, the character waking up. Sunlight caresses his face. He wakes up. Another beautiful day in the jungle. Gotta brush my teeth and rinse my hair. And then yeet this sycamore tree. Say hi to my friend and say, fuck you, the government. I know this is fake.
So good.
That was a good scene though. I was like, this is cliche, but this is cute because it's Kong. All right.
Anyways,
I kind of miss Tom Hiddleston and John C. Reilly and Samuel L. Jackson though. I missed them.
I mean, they were all dead.
I know, but I know, but when I saw Kong, I was like, oh, I miss them.
You did mention that you thought Skarsgård's brother that they mentioned in the movie was Hiddleston. I was like, he would have been like 80 or 90 at this point.
But at first, because it was like something that they could have tied in, because they kind of was like, it was teased at the end of Kong that Monarch recruited Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson.
Yeah.
And there was going to be more adventures with them. It's with Kong, but the company was like, no, let's just go straight forward, guys. No in between movie. We ain't the MCU. We don't establish other shit.
That's right.
For the Monarch universe, we ain't doing that.
That's right.
So.
It's called the Monsterverse.
They ain't a thing anymore. That's not a thing. You mean the DC Dark Monsters thing? That ain't a thing no more. No,
it's called the Monsterverse.
Whatever. Kaiju verse. He's a kaiju. I don't want to.
The Godzilla Monsterverse.
It's kaiju.
Kaiju verse sounds better.
We mentioned a terrible movie that I wanted to eventually bring to recall called Robowoman. We mentioned it briefly because it was so bad.
Last week we did.
Last week. When we were talking about Nobody and everything. So, I'm sure some people listening will know about RedLetterMedia. They talk about movies as well. They're very beloved and established YouTube channel on this platform. And we really liked them, and we did it first, okay? We talked about Robowoman first.
We briefly discussed Robowoman before they even posted theirs.
I think they were gonna go with something else, and then Robowoman was just so bad that they
heard our podcast.
They felt
the day before, and they said, we got to record this real quick.
No, honestly, they pretty much, I'm pretty sure they planned things out pretty good, like in advance.
No, they planned on doing it, but we posted it first.
Oh my God. But we should, if anybody's seen that, it is, their review of it is just got uploaded, a few days ago.
Oh, they say it's the worst movie they've ever seen.
And I was barely paying attention when I was watching it. But yeah, from what I saw, it's very much that.
It is absolutely beautiful.
It's terrible. Like the advertisement, if we put in the artwork, but we'll probably put in the artwork again right now. Beautiful. But that is nowhere near what the artwork is, the actual film is like at all. The woman who stars in it, they've established that she's worked for a very long time, and she's about 60-some years old now, and she wanted to be the star of this movie. I'm not gonna knock anybody for being, 60 and want to be in the star. It's totally possible, but it's just that the character that she's playing is obviously much younger than what she's portraying. She actually is. And it starts with this dude who's like asked her out on a date every day since she's been at that job, and she's so happy that today is her last day, probably because of that dude. And he's like, "Oh, where are you gonna be working?" She's like, "I'd rather not say." Is that not a hint? Mm-hmm. If someone said that to you, I would feel so hurt. I would be like, "Damn, I was that bad." Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna say good luck to you, and now I'm not talking to you ever again.
Bye-bye.
But he still can't help it. And goes out on a date with him, and he brings the girl to a dark alley where they were gonna take advantage of her. Thank God they didn't. They just kill her though. They do kill her. And then from there, Mel Novak puts her in a tarp garage and turns her into Robowoman.
And thus begins the beautiful movie.
But it's all a bunch of pieces from a Spirit Halloween.
Listen, the movie is...
And then her office, so-called office, was in a self-defense dojo, which she goes back to for her self-defense montage.
Right. The movie is a student film.
Because that guy has a bunch
by someone who's never been a student.
He thought, okay, he went to community college. He took one elective in film, and he's like, I got it. I got it.
I watched Citizen Kane, excuse me.
I got it. And the thing is, like, the quality of the camera is so bad that, like, when we film on iPhone, it looks better than what they did.
And this movie's from 2 years ago, I think?
Yep, 2019.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. He's out here making movies every 5 minutes though.
Apparently, according to RedLetterMedia, yeah, he makes movies every 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Because he had like 100 movies in 2020 alone.
Yeah, there's like, apparently he does a series called Camp Blood, and one of this other channel that I watched did his Camp Blood 8. That he's on 8.
Oh, was that the one? Oh, I think I saw something about that.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what is this?
Anyways.
What is this? We're going off the rails.
I want to watch it again.
Yeah, we're going to watch it again.
I was watching it. I think I paid attention a little bit more than you, and I wasn't even turned it on.
No, you did not. I
saw things that I did not want to see.
Yeah, he did. He turned around. He was like, he was like, no, I don't want to see this. There's a whole sequence where she does a training montage, but for 2 minutes she's just standing there. Just meditating, and you can see some sort of apartment complex in the background. It's so weird. And then the guy who's the trainer is just like doing the Star Wars kid thing in the back. You know, with the guy who had the kid who had the lightsaber, he was like.
Listen, the only reason why I bring this up. Is because we did it first.
Oh my God. Anyway, we did see another movie that when I was surfing through with Robowoman.
I think we watched this before Robowoman, actually. And then you got to Robowoman. Because I watched this one with you, and then I went and did my own thing. and then you turned on Robowoman afterwards. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't think you were paying attention when I talked about this on stream, but I mentioned this to a friend of ours, and he said apparently Spy High, the movie we're talking about, is a book series.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I was like, so is there anything that establishes why this girl in the story, Catherine, doesn't like being called Cat? And he was like, no. No. They had to give her some sort of character, and that was the character, being annoyed.
That's great.
About her name and jealous.
Listen,
anyway.
Sky High is...
Spy High.
Spy High, sorry. Sky High is a far superior movie that's still not good.
Yeah, so this is, we had to double take. We went on Amazon Prime, just surfing. And there's this distribution company that is like redistributing these old Canadian or weird amalgamation.
They're all from like 1995.
They're all from like late 90s, early 2000s.
They just opened the time capsule this year and said, you know what, let's put these out.
Yeah, they're just like, oh shit, we did distribute. Oh, this was a thing. Let's just put it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, okay, forget it.
Because this is the same company that did the Excalibur kit that I mentioned last week.
Yes, it was. Might have been the same kid.
No, it wasn't. That guy was
nondescript white man with dark hair.
That other kid was shorter.
Okay.
And he was like, I got my Mario Lopez impressions. You know, my Mario Lopez acting skill helped me out for Excalibur kid. This guy is like my Ryan Reynolds. I was gonna say
he looks like not Ryan Reynolds, but Van Wilder specifically.
No.
Yes.
He looks like straight up. We'll put a picture in here. He looks like the love child of what's his name, Zach Morris, and Ryan Reynolds, or possibly Screech and Ryan Reynolds, or possibly, may he rest in peace, or possibly it was one other kid that kept on. The Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Ryan Reynolds, because this dude is straight up. Look at him and tell me he don't.
Yeah.
Look into his puka shell necklace and tell me he don't look like those two boys mixed together. Anyway.
Let's talk about the star of the movie, the actual star.
Oh, you mean Rocky?
That's right.
Oh yeah, Rocky is the best.
Rocky is the best acting dog I've ever seen
in my life. Move aside, Airbud.
Yeah.
Move aside, Lassie, and those dogs from Homeward Bound. You done fucked it up. Rocky is S tier. You cannot touch Rocky. You wish you could. You wish you could have any a smidge of what he has in his paw, his talent, his prowess.
And
but
one of his claws, his pinky paw claw.
His pinky paw claw. But anyway, yeah, the real star is this dog, Rocky. He's like a short collie, right? He's like
I don't even
corgi and collie mix.
I don't even know what kind of dog that is, but it was a gorgeous looking dog.
Lassie.
It was not a Lassie.
Okay.
It could have been like a German Shepherd Sheltie mix, maybe.
Yeah, because he's short.
That makes sense.
But anyway, it all stars Rocky. But it starts with this kid trying to spit game out of a older woman who works for a gaming company.
School. She's working for some kind of gaming company.
She's straight out of college, is what it's implied.
Okay.
So she got a job right out of college, and she's like, "You're gonna like this. I work for a gaming company, and you're a gamer. Gamers rise up." He's like, "I'm already rising up, baby, in my pants." My obligatory Clone High reference. You're wet. Let me dry you off with my pants.
Oh, jeez.
Whisper, dental dam. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, I've been watching a lot of Clone High. So yeah, he's some sort of whiz kid, dork nerd. Not quite. He's cool, but he's picked on. He gets the girl in the end, type of dude. Whatever. His dog though. He knows he can speak to his dog.
Yeah, the dog understands.
The dog understands him. The dog grabs his homework. He says, "Don't forget your homework."
The dog is smarter than him too. Don't forget.
Yes.
He ended up figuring out how the program worked.
Yes, and he also
left it up on the screen for the dumb human to figure it out.
He also passed the special agent training in flying colors and finished the mission for them.
I think he was like the lead of the mission too.
He was the point man.
He was the number one.
He's the point man.
He was number one.
MI6.
Everyone else was number 2.
All of y'all just step aside. Anyway, his dog reminds him about his homework, and apparently the teacher hates everyone. I don't know, but then it's like he has a class clown friend that it seems like they just met that day, and he's like, I will die for you.
Yeah, ride or die, bad boys for life.
And then he has this girlfriend who's not really a friend.
She likes him.
No, she's not really. She doesn't count as a girl because he's known her all her life, and she's trying not to be that tomboy. And he calls her Cat, like as a cat, like a little bit like pet name. And she's like, but actually, I like Catherine. And no one listens to her.
She's the worst actress in the movie.
It's basically just she's Meg. She's a Meg.
She's Meg. I think did she end up with him at the end?
Of course.
Yeah, and the cat and the chick, the game studio chick.
She didn't lead him on. She was just like friendly with him, but he's like, "Hey, baby," and she's just like, "All right, here's a video game. Leave me alone. I gotta work."
But somehow this video game is actually a weapon.
Yeah.
That's going to take over the minds of the youth.
They never see the game.
You never see the game.
It's supposed to be like the first version of Half-Life Alyx or something.
But the funniest part is like, production companies had so little understanding of the game studio back then. They thought like one person
can make a
blockbuster game
in a room that's a computer
that
wall.
actually is hidden on top of a weapon. It doesn't make any sense.
Also, I have a weird thing I have to ask you.
Sure.
What is the problem with this production in coffee? They couldn't afford it. Everything that had to have coffee in it was water. The first scene, there's this dude who's like a nerd scientist. He's frantically trying to be the whistleblower on this project. We know something's not right because he's sweating profusely. And he sips this coffee. The actor reacts like it's hot. And then when he gets
the coffee at the guy.
Yeah, he just decides to throw the coffee mug of coffee in this guy's face. It's just regular tap water. And then later on, I'm like, then why did he react like it was hot? Fuck it. He was doing his job. He's doing the best he can. Fuck it. Later on, there's like a little section for like a coffee maker, sugar set, and everything. But the coffee is water. The dude goes to get the coffee and he starts to put sugar and stir it up. It's like you drink sugar water? Who made that coffee? Did y'all mess up? I'm really confused. I was really confused.
This is on the homeworld from the alien from Men in Black 1.
I don't know. Sugar water, fine. But it's just like, what were y'all thinking? Y'all couldn't brew a cup of coffee for these actors? Damn. And then there's a thing with a thermos of coffee or tea that they zap with a pen laser off screen. They can show it. They're like, bye-bye thermos. And it's like, they never show. He just like, watch this. Oh, the thermos is gone.
You just reminded me of the light show.
We were going to get to that.
Oh, were we?
Yes. Okay. So after we find out that this lady thinks it's just a game, even though it turns out she's actually a secret agent that they implanted who has been kidnapped, but she knew how to do the game, but she didn't know that there was something shady about the place, even though she's a secret agent that has been asked to be there.
She was a secret agent the whole time?
Yes. That's why the secret agent who was impressed by their lightning show was like, yes, I believe you. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why does the teacher hate them? Why does the teacher... Okay, and then he's late for class with his paper that Rocky had graciously reminded him to bring to class. The teacher straight up looks him dead in the eye because he's a minute late and says, no, you get a fucking 0 because kiss my ass.
We're going to have to talk about this movie in a recall because it was so much fun.
What type of teacher is that?
It was so much fun.
You will be fired. I would fire them. If he was my child, I would say, what type of education do you think that you're giving him by giving him an automatic 0 because someone is late?
And then he threatened somebody else. Like, you want a 0 too?
Yeah, you want a 0 too, bitch? I'll do it just cause on point, on GP. What? And it's just like, what do you think you're teaching? Like, that's why I had a problem with Freaky. Why did fucking Ferris Bueller's Friend have such a problem with the girl? For what reason? I'm sorry. I have a lot of problems when teachers are portrayed like that. Teachers are very important. I don't understand why they make these teachers to villains. They're not villains. They don't really care that much to be such an asshole.
It's true.
I don't think.
Everyone's still kind of stuck on like the 80s version of how people saw teachers as like authority figures and
detention.
Yeah.
Oh my god, whatever. It's stupid. It's dumb, and it's like it's not a good look, and I don't appreciate it. Later on, they all hang out together, and his parents are leaving. He's like, no parties, and of course they're nerds, so they're just gonna hang out and play a game. Apparently, the game that the not girlfriend sent them was some sort of VR thing that they never play. But he's like, I need a really hot server in order to be on here. So apparently he needs to be online at this all the time, like some sort of like WoW or something.
I forgot.
Yeah, he said, I need
a hot server. So she gives him U.S. military clearance to
use their server. Because the U.S. military ain't got no problems with internet.
And then the three of them hack into a government satellite
this is cool.
and do a laser show in the sky.
And the satellite, which probably would, from the distance from the satellite, was probably blinding someone in order to reach the Earth.
Killed many people.
If you wanted to see light coming from a satellite that will be visible to your eye on Earth, you would be blind. You would be dead. Fuck your neighbor. And
those lasers were so big, too.
And then the way that they just showed this, they're looking out the window, but the lights are behind the house. So their neighbors are fucked.
It was great.
We live in an apartment building where we had to get darkening curtains because our neighbors were assholes right across from us and leave the light blasting on in their bathroom and bedroom all night, shining directly into our eyes, into our bedroom when we try to sleep. Imagine being the neighbors of these kids. And
it's got to be the worst situation ever.
Exactly.
And then the next day, this is the last thing I want to touch on for this movie personally. The next day,
I'm done with it.
The next day, they see
government is chasing them.
They see the government, staking them out, and they juke the government on their BMX bikes,
doing sick flips and shit.
And then they get back to the house like,
he's like, surprise,
high five, yeah. And then the government guy is sitting there. You didn't think we'd find you, huh?
I could break into houses. I am the government.
I am the one.
And they're like, we need you, teenagers, to be secret agents. Are you fucking kidding me?
And they do a training montage that the Rocky excels
he kidnapped
at.
Those kids.
Beautiful.
Of course.
He kidnapped those kids, you're right.
He kidnapped those kids and that dog.
He's like, I'm going to let your families know what's going on.
And then he's like, what about homework? He said, fuck your homework. And smacked the book out of his hand.
And then
you think I did homework at your age? I'm a secret agent. No one cares.
And then they do their mission, and they do like Mission Impossible references and shit like that.
Does it do?
Where they hold they hang the dog from a wire, like Mission Impossible, like
harness,
like Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible 1.
They harness him down, and he's just like, "I'm here, baby. What's up?" Like he's looking around happy. But what killed me was how they got away from that scene. He pulls out a skateboard. He puts the poor dog like a fucking one of those huskies that pull the sleighs. Like a fucking and he skates through some events. He makes an expression that looks like Broken Matt Hardy just showed up in this show, and he's cross-eyed and he yells loudly. The villain is right down below him, and you can just imagine a 150-pound boy on a skateboard running with a dog pulling him, and you just hear like through all the vents. Everyone would know.
And the vents were the size of like a McDonald's play tube.
Yes. There's no blocking. There's no air. Like he's straight up. I would have heard. The whole building would have heard everything. Everything.
Every little thing.
Anyway, movie's awesome.
Movie's awesome. 10 out of 10.
I was like, we couldn't turn it off. Like,
I
it was
kind of
late.
want to talk about the end of it, that mission, but I don't know if we should. We should probably save that for a recall.
Let's hold off because it's just, listen, you guys, it was really late on a weeknight and we still watched it because we couldn't believe what we were seeing. Yeah. That's how bad it is.
I think we stayed up till 1 in the morning watching this movie.
Yeah.
We just got sucked in.
You were just like, what the fuck is happening? Because like it had a trailer that was so... Oh, and also, remember I feel like I basically fixed the whole meal during the credits because the credits were first.
You did.
I was like, you know what?
The opening credits took like 8 minutes.
It was like this proto fucking Matrix with cyber math space going on PBS shit, PBS kids shit. I was like, let me go and get a drink. Got a drink, sat down. I'm like, I want to go fix something else. And then I did, and I came back and I'm like, you know what? I also need a cup of water. Still credits, and I came back just in time to see Rocky playing the role of a lifetime.
Rocky being awesome.
And in the role of a lifetime.
Role of a lifetime.
In the role of a lifetime. Bark! Rocky as Rocky. No, the dog's name is something else. I forget.
Yeah,
his real name is something else.
It was like Hercules or something.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to rant about Captain Soldier and Winter Falcon or whatever it's called.
You take point on that because I was not paying attention. I looked up and I saw Zemo dancing in a crowded club, and I was just like, I'm out, man.
All right.
Fuck Zemo.
First episode.
I don't want to see him smile ever because I want to punch him.
Yeah. First episode, fine.
Yeah.
It was a good setup.
I like seeing...
Second episode, I was like, okay.
The best part of the second episode was the reveal of Isaiah and Eli. I'm going to stand by that. That scene was good.
Sure.
And the scene after that was a little heavy-handed, but good. I understand. And the therapy session went on a little long.
Too long.
But now we know where people stand, and that's about it.
Listen. The two characters are fine on their own, but when they get together, the banter is just obnoxious, and I can't take it. And they act stupid, especially in this episode. The stupidity reaches a whole new level that I could not comprehend.
But the ending of that episode was pretty fire.
Yes,
everyone's hyped for the ending.
Yes,
We're
the
not
ending was great.
Yet.
I'm not going to talk about the ending. I just want to talk about the stupidity leading up to where how they got there. Okay. Action.
Anger.
The damn thing opens up on Bucky and Sam talking about talking to Zemo, and then we cut to Bucky actually talking to Zemo, and they briefly talk, and basically he's like, "I'm gonna break you out" or some shit.
No, it's witty banter.
Yeah, it was a bunch of witty banter.
Do you want answers?
Basically,
well, I might
like,
have
get
answers.
me out of here,
Wait,
and I'll give you all the answers.
No, he's like, oh, let me finish. He's like, I might have answers. I might not. I can only tell you from where I stand. I cannot help you. And then he's like, all right, I'm out of here. And then the next scene is him explaining to Sam his rationale for behind it and how he would do it while Zemo executes his plan.
Yeah, he already did it.
He did it. He's there. He shows up. The door is open. He's there.
So,
no negotiation. Sam just made a decision. He said, we're busting him out.
Sam didn't know. I
mean, oh, sorry, Bucky. The problem is, I
thought you didn't have any insight on this episode.
No, now that I'm talking about it, I'm thinking about why would Bucky do that for Zemo?
That's what I was trying to get at. That's where I was trying to go.
Zemo PTSD'd him back down into Winter Soldier mode. And he starts out by saying the words of his indoctrination. And I said, when he was walking in, I was like, why would you go in there alone? Because he said, I'm going in alone. Because he can trigger you. Like we as an audience didn't know that Bucky's like, I don't answer to that anymore. But
I mean, it was
To
a good way
us,
to...
from the outside looking in, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It was an interesting way to show that he's no longer has control by the Winter Soldier program anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
However,
everything after that, the reasoning behind him breaking him out, the way that they just let Zemo flaunt around without any kind of restraints or consequences.
We were like, you need to steal from Suicide Squad and put a bomb in the base's skull.
Put a bomb in that motherfucker's head. Put zip ties on him. Gag him.
Everything he
something.
says is a trap, basically. Some sort of bullshit. Because he
destroyed the Avengers.
He did. He broke them up.
He manipulated the situation to destroy the Avengers. It was convoluted, yes.
Yeah.
But he did it.
Right.
So he is essentially a master manipulator.
Right.
A skilled combat.
You basically have the real version of what's his name, the Max Lord. Yeah. Like the another Max Lord in your midst.
Sure. I guess you can correlate those two.
I'm just saying, like, master manipulation.
Yeah, exactly. Like he can do it on a level.
Apparently some sort of Batman level inheritance because he still has a private jet and a butler.
This is where I was trying to get to. Okay. End of Civil War.
Right.
He does his duty. He got his revenge on the Avengers for destroying Sokovia because they invented Ultron, and he was gonna kill himself. Black Panther stops him.
Right. He's like, no, you need to answer for your crimes. You know, that's what my dad would have wanted instead of me killing you and satisfying what you wanted anyway.
I feel like he wouldn't have all this shit available to him anymore.
Well, if he
was planning on killing himself.
If you have old money and some sort of trust fund or some sort of estate that is so paid off, like everything that is paid off, and maybe everything was left to the butler. And when the guy was this like, just like how in Batman Begins, everyone thought that Bruce Wayne was dead, and he still had a way to contact Alfred, and Alfred picked him up in a private jet, even though he's supposed to be dead. That's the same thing, basically.
I guess.
I know you don't like it, but that's exactly what happened in Batman Begins.
Mm-hmm. I just. He was gonna kill himself. He didn't kill himself.
I have a feeling, guys, that he doesn't like it when I pull out actual things that could correlate. You're like, I see the wheels turning in your head.
No, it don't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's funny because I think I see the wheels turning in your head to be like, no, that's not the same. But it is kind of okay. It is.
It's not the same.
It is the same.
No.
See?
He tried to kill himself. I feel like he wouldn't have that stuff still. And not only that, he would have, all of his assets would have been liquidated because he is not only that, he is a crook. He is a criminal. He is a terrorist. He is an assassin.
I will admit, everything that ever had his name on it should have been on ice. It should have been like...
Yeah, he should have been no
that
way
should
to
have been all
any
dissolved.
of that shit.
Okay, I will say that.
He gets
true.
out. He gets on this plane
Maybe
real
the
easy.
butler saved it all.
Sure, whatever. He's got the butler's number. Somehow that old man is still alive. Lucky.
Now you get it.
He's got places all over the globe where he could go to safe houses and shit. Whatever. It doesn't make any fucking sense. He's still recognized. He's recognized constantly.
Yeah.
By everybody.
His face is probably
anywhere he
everywhere.
goes, he's like, how'd you get out of prison? He's just like, I have my ways, my womanly wilds. And the entire time he is with Sam and Bucky, who are known Avengers, basically celebrities.
Spider-Man caught their likenesses on his video.
Everyone knows who they are and what they look like, yet they're able to do espionage.
They probably have their pictures on all types of trading cards and shit.
It don't make any fucking sense. Sam dresses up and pretends to be somebody else. He
didn't even wear sunglasses.
Yeah, he didn't even wear sunglasses, the fool, or a hat.
There's a lot of problems with their whole secret spy shit. It doesn't work.
And going back to this, they do not put a bomb in Zemo's head.
Yeah.
And
Or zip ties.
And because they don't put a bomb in Zemo's head, he does stupid shit.
He gets
and
a gun.
Then you say, "Why'd you do that?" And he says, "I felt like it." Okay, don't do that again. And then they go off and let Zemo drive the car to the next episode.
He got a gun.
He had a gun.
If all they have to do is take a nap and he just pop pop.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Nothing makes fucking sense.
But
how they meet Sharon Carter again doesn't make any fucking sense.
Just like when we talked about Robowoman before, I will say I called it that Wakanda gonna see that someone who should be locked up is not locked up, and they gonna come knocking on the door being like, especially after who he is directly killed.
He killed
King T'Chaka.
King T'Chaka. He killed him.
That is, he should have died. He should have died for it, but
he killed plenty of other people too.
The Dora Milaje was like, it's on sight.
He's essentially a terrorist. Mm-hmm. Things should not have gone as easy as they did in this episode for them.
No.
And Sam and Bucky should not have trusted Zemo as much as they did. They were basically best fucking friends in this episode.
Yes.
With Zemo fucking dancing in the fucking club.
Having a great old time. Well, I wanted to punch the screen.
Jesus Christ. And then everyone's fucking simping for him now.
No.
Yes.
Him?
Yes.
The man who looks like
oh my
the
God.
most punchable face in the world.
Everyone's just like, oh my God, everyone hates Captain America and loves Baron Zemo. Oh my God. Yes.
I would rather y'all simp for that Battlestar boy or whatever his yes. Side. He's cute.
Yes.
The girlfriend we saw for 2 seconds is cuter than everybody. But no one's simping more for anybody as much as the Dora Milaje captain that showed up, because everyone loves her. She's perfect.
True, but
she beats everyone.
If you just go on to Instagram for 3 seconds, if you've ever looked at any type of Marvel thing, it's Zemo's face and then John Walker's face, and it's like ew, and then
That's disgusting. Disgusting. What is wrong with you?
You fucking idiots.
You are sipping
the
for
fucking lot of
you
you.
fucking wankers.
What's wrong with this?
Are you fucked in the head or what? Have you had a pint?
You take a shot
or two? Because whoa! Oh God! Look at the state of that.
I can't believe
oh my God! The state of him. The state of his face, mate.
It's absolutely atrocious.
I can't walk. Oh, I'm gonna vomit. Gonna boke.
I think I touched on everything I hated. I don't think Falcon and Winter Soldier is a bad show. It is a standard MCO.
I would definitely. I prefer watching this over watching anything that's on the CW right now. At least this has some sort of, I don't know, substance to it. There's intrigue. There's actually things happening, but it's some things that I have problems with, because the movies have established that Zemo is not someone we need to have. Like, we can have him back. That's no problem. We can have him back, and then I would feel more comfortable like him collaborating with the terrorists. You know, that makes more sense to me, because of the danger that he presented to the Avengers, and he destroyed the Avengers.
He's obviously going to betray them again.
Like, I would get it, like, if Sam and Bucky questioned him, and that's it. And then after that, because the terrorist...
He breaks out.
Yeah, he either breaks out because he's super smart, or the terrorists gave him away. One of them gave him away to get out, just like how Sam and Bucky were talking.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it would have been a more impactful scene to me if they got word immediately that he did break out, just like they described, but with the help of the terrorists. And then they're like, oh, we need to pursue, because if and then the terrorists and Zemo split up, and Zemo starts to do the thing that he's that they actually, he's more curious as to who made the super serum on his own initiative, and then they cross paths that way, and it's like a cat and mouse thing.
Listen, baby.
The
I don't know. I look at as like wrestling. Mm-hmm. They're essentially using this series to turn Zemo face.
No.
And then
if they do, I'm out. I'm out. This is what's gonna take me out because I'm on Wakanda's side here. He is a terrorist. He killed King T'Chaka. He destroyed the Avengers. He deserves to be behind bars forever or die.
I hope I'm wrong and he actually does betray them again.
I think he will.
But I would not be surprised if MCU tries to turn Zemo face.
He's isn't he canon? He's Hydra and a Nazi or something.
Essentially, he's a follower of Red Skull, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
We don't fuck with Nazis, man. Like, what the fuck?
Originally a follower of Red Skull, then they start feuding.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. This one's a Nazi. Like, come on. Like, I just don't understand. What if... Ooh. Because I mentioned that I think either the new soldier's gonna die or he's actually like a Hydra agent or something.
I think he's gonna die.
Or something. What if he and Zemo end up being something? They become roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
There's problems with the show. I definitely think it has more substance over the CW type stuff that we're given. For a superhero show, I'm not upset. I'm just confused at the choices being made here.
There's huge logic gaps. Mm-hmm. It's hard to...
I get why they made...
The action is fun.
Yeah, I get why they made Sam and Bucky like this banter, odd couple, like old married couple thing. But...
I just don't understand how many people are ignoring the logic in these things. And they're just praising this episode as being the best episode yet.
But it just needs to have... They need to focus more on like... Go back to the movies and look at what... There's some logic issues here, definitely. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I don't want to keep thinking about it because now I'm getting even more frustrated because they didn't need to team up with Zemo. I feel like it's something that is unnecessary.
There's so many logic things. I'm not going to get into it, but it's the
same problem. I just said.
Same problems I had with the Snyder Cut. There's logic gaps. And there's some issues. WandaVision actually I don't think really had any logic gaps myself. There was there's things they set up that they didn't pay off.
Yeah, they didn't pay off.
But there was no gaps in logic in my opinion.
There were that's the frustration because it was like why are you what is this dance around? Maybe it was because of filming constraints and stuff. Who knows? But the plot line made sense and there wasn't any old villain coming back to become friend again.
All right.
I'm excited for we didn't mention Loki though. Like Loki might be fun.
Oh, I'm excited for Loki. I think that Loki is gonna be great.
No, but it has Ruby from Lovecraft Country in it.
It does.
And Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow.
So, and it looks like it's gonna be like...
I wonder if it's gonna introduce Kang the Conqueror.
It seems like in the vein of Guardians of the Galaxy, the Thor that we've gotten, where we've...
It's gonna be more like fun.
And like, why are we here? Don't worry about it.
Because Loki is a fun character.
Yeah, and I think that jumping through time and probably with different dimensions and other places is going to be cool to look at the more creative, weird parts of the Marvel universe. Mm-hmm. Because that's what was fun about WandaVision. Something that was a little bit unique and creative.
Holy
so.
Shit.
Anyway,
we've been talking for a long
we
time.
have. That's when we gotta close it up here. So we'll be back. We'll be back with more of our poorly reviewed podcast and recall coming up. We were gonna talk about Ghost of Darkness because that was a potential recall, but we're gonna figure out what we're gonna talk about next. It's probably gonna be Assassin's Revenge, and just look up a trailer and enjoy. So. It was fun talking about the movies and the shows that we've been watching. We always surprise ourselves with how much we got to say about it until You know, we thought we had something summarized, but it's like, oh no, this thing and nothing. But anyway, we'll be back. This has been Asia and
Sean.
And we'll be back with more stuff.
Thanks for stopping
Thanks
by.
for listening. If you like to hear more stuff like this, please consider subscribing and take care. Bye-bye. Is that the mother? Is that it? Is that, what is that? Oh, it's got a mouth at the bottom.
Yeah, that's a squid.
It's scary. I don't like.
Oh, it's okay.